On this election night, we've got team coverage for you. We've been tracking the races in both Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan.
Yeah, Steve Iwanek, he is in Bowling Green. Andre Norrell's in Findlay. And Silver Barker, she is in Morenci for us. We start in Toledo, though. Voters narrowing down 3 mayoral candidates to 2. Current Mayor Wade Capsicavage is running against challengers Roberto Torres and Harold Harris. Let's take a look at how things kind of shook out tonight. Wade Capsicavage, the incumbent, leading the pack, and Roberto Torres moving on at this point. We have got 76 of our precincts, 76% I should say, of the precincts reporting in.
I am an independent, but my whole commitment is to the people that live in this city. That's where the focus has been lost. I'm running for the people. I'm going to be responsible to them and them only, and that's who I'm committed to.
The emotions are very high in the sense that we've worked, many long hours to be able to get to this point. We covered every day of the early voting session. So there wasn't a time when Torres for Toledo wasn't present.
So once again, 76% in at this point as far as the precinct count is concerned here in Toledo. The mayor sending us this statement, reading in part tonight's results showing that Toledoans want to continue to build on our momentum. He goes on to say, I will work to continue to earn the trust of the voters as we move toward the November election and the next 4 years as mayor.
Perrysburg had a trio of mayoral hopefuls throw in their hats in the ring as well. Political newcomer Aaron Harder is running against current city councilman Mark Weber and former council member Deborah Bourne. The two top vote getters are moving on to November's general election. Here are the results that we have for you tonight for this rate. We have 100% of precincts reporting. This is for Perrysburg mayor. Right now, voters have said yes to Mark Weber. 52% of voters saying yes to Mark Weber, 27% voting yes to Aaron Harder, and 21% saying yes to Deborah Bourne. Again, this is going to be Mark Weber leading the way, followed by Aaron Harder and Deborah Bourne.
So Weber and Harder move on to November. Staying in Perrysburg, voters were also deciding whether to renew a 1.9 mil tax levy for the schools. It's been in place since 1980. School officials stressed that the levy was not new money, just a continuation of what homeowners are already paying, which is about $41 a year per $100,000 in home value. The 5-year levy helps cover long-term repairs and upgrades to school buildings. Take a look at what voters said tonight, and for the first time in a long time, Perrysburg School passing a levy tonight. 100% of the precincts reporting in. Overwhelmingly, in fact, you're looking at 75% of the electorate saying yes. Perrysburg Schools releasing a statement tonight saying, quote, we are deeply grateful to the Perrysburg community for supporting the renewal of our permanent improvement levy, end quote.
Rosford School is also seeking a renewal for a school levy. It's a 1 mil decrease from the last decade. The proposed 4.9 mil levy would cost the owner of a $100,000 home $117 a year. That's down from $140 before. Here are the results we have for you tonight for the Rosford Schools renewal. We have 100% of precincts reporting, 74% of voters. That's more than 1,000 people voting yes for this. Again, this is a renewal that passed in Rosford.
Other school districts that we're watching across Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. Bowling Green asking voters to approve 0.75% income tax increase tonight, and the impact would be significant either way. Steve Iwanek, he joins us now with more on the results that we got tonight. Steve?
Yeah, hi, Jeff. So we have 100% of the precincts reporting, and we can tell you that Bowling Green schools have passed that with 71%, right about 71% of voters approving of that income tax increase. And coming into tonight, this was a significant levy, according to district officials, as if it would have failed, you would have seen about $2 million worth of cuts be made, while the passage will bring about over $6 million annually for operating costs. Now, some of those proposed cuts going into tonight's election, if that $2 million would have had to have happened, according to Superintendent Ted Hazelman, would have included 29 jobs as well as extracurriculars, including all the athletic programs, the arts, and the district student gifted program. Hazelman told me some of those job cuts include 7 teachers and the athletic director. But with tonight's win for the district, that means students continue to get opportunities, which Hazelman says is a credit to the community understanding what was at stake.
those reductions and eliminations, they were heart-wrenching. And if that would have truly had to have happened, and if the levy would not have passed, that was already board approved and it would have taken place. I think that, being transparent, open with our community, allowing them to know what was at stake, made a difference tonight.
So just to put it into perspective, that 0.75% increase means if you make $100,000 annually, you'll now be paying an extra $750 a year. And once again, 100% precincts reporting, we can tell you that BG School's income tax levy has passed. Here in Bowling Green, Steve Iwanek, WTOL 11.
After months of budget uncertainty and tough cuts, the Findlay City School District is breathing a sigh of relief tonight. Voters have approved the district's 1% earned income tax levy, bringing in an estimated $13 million a year. Andre Norrells has been following this race and spoke with the superintendent. Andre, I'm sure he's feeling good tonight.
Yes, he is. He's glad that voters decided to support the levy and says it'll prevent from future cuts. Take a look at how the votes played out tonight. Nearly 67% of voters were in favor of the levy, with about 33% against. The win comes after a challenging year for the district. Since the levy's failure in November, the school board cut $6 million from the budget, eliminating dozens of positions and warning families of more reductions to come. But with the levy now approved, district leaders say they can begin restoring stability, and they'll continue to communicate to the public.
We are going to commit to continuing to be transparent with how we use the taxpayer dollars. We are going to continue to listen and learn from our community, but we are now very optimistic and very hopeful to continue to meet and exceed the standards that we have here in the city of Findlay.
Now, the superintendent tells me the $6 million in cuts will still need to happen, but again, he said he predicts that future cuts won't need to happen. Reporting in Findlay, Andre Norrells, WTOL 11.
As we continue to bounce around Northwest Ohio, Pemberville voters, they were casting ballots today about a potential increase to the income tax. The village wanted to raise more local revenue by raising that income tax rate by 0.5%. The new tax would have started in 2026. However, as you look tonight, the no's winning out in Pemberville, that tax levy increase going down to defeat 62% to 38%.
We now want to check in with Silver Barker, who is currently in Michigan. Silver, you've been following some school bond proposals that were on the ballot today in Lenawee County. Do we have the results for this yet tonight?
Yes, we do, Kaylee. Unofficial results show for Morenci Area School District that the bond proposal for them has passed. Now, I spoke with the superintendent, and she tells me 68% of the people voted yes to this bond proposal. And it's a bond proposal asking voters for $17.4 million. This would go towards roof replacements, along with additional security, such as cameras. As for Whiteford Agricultural School District, they also have a proposal on the ballot. There's actually two. It's asking voters for $7.5 million in total. $1 million will go towards athletic upgrades, and the rest will go towards elementary upgrades, including 5 new classrooms. Now, just moments ago, we did get the unofficial results for Whiteford schools. Voters said no to both requests.
Yeah, we're hopeful that it'll pass, and if it doesn't, then we'll go back to the drawing board, and again, we'll reconsider maybe what we need to do differently next time if we need to go back to the voters again.
And now we'll make sure to keep you guys updated as things get certified. Reporting in Ottawa Lake, Silver Barker, WTOL 11.
One thing that everybody in the Buckeye State saw today was deciding on State Issue 2. A yes vote allowed the state to borrow up to $2.5 billion in bonds over 10 years' time to help pay local governments for things like roads, bridges, and water systems. A no vote rejected the proposal and kept the state from issuing those bonds. But take a look at your screen. Here we go. State of Ohio tonight saying yes to issue 2. 96 of the precincts around the state of Ohio reporting in tonight. But at this point, more than 583,000 yes votes. Looks like that's going to go to the positive category.
Right here in Lucas County, there were almost 29,000 ballots cast tonight. County voters are being asked to approve a 10-year property tax for Toledo Metro Parks. It would replace an existing tax and cost about $140 a year for a $100,000 home. These are the results that we have right now. This is a very tight race. Again, this is for a Metro Parks Toledo levy. 85% of precincts are reporting, 51% of voters saying yes, 49% saying no. This is about an 800 voter difference here. We are going to stay up to date on this tight race and keep you updated on WTOL.com. Voters in Tiffin decided on a proposed 1/4% income tax replacement. The money would help pay for city employee salaries, street repairs, and debt payments. These are results we have from Tiffin, with 100% of precincts reporting, 68% of voters saying yes to this levy renewal in Tiffin, so this did pass.
To check out a full list of races that have been called so far in our area, you can text the word VOTE to 419-248-1100. This will take you straight to our online results guide, where you can find all the unofficial election results in our area.